from the station working for you. This is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
This vaccine is something that can help stave off the pandemic that is rampaging through the communities of African Americans, Blacks, Latinos, and other minorities as well.
Now at 6, a local doctor with a strong message for anyone who isn't sure about getting the COVID-19 vaccine.
Oh, it's just an exciting day. Everybody is so ecstatic.
More healthcare workers getting vaccinated, what this day means to them and for the fight against the pandemic. Not all healthcare workers are receiving the vaccine right away. What's currently preventing some of them from getting vaccinated and how they're helping while they wait. Record holiday shipping volume amid the pandemic, leading to a warning about the gifts and packages you may still need to send ahead of Christmas. Good evening to you here on this Friday, and welcome into WRTV News at 6. I'm Mark Mullins. Amanda Starantino has the evening off. First, a December day that you could actually get out and exercise. This is along the Monon Trail near Sutherland Avenue. Sun eventually gave way to some clouds there. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory joining us tonight. Kevin, what are you tracking for the rest of our Friday evening?
A quiet Friday night on the way. And that sunshine, Mark, I think gives us all a little energy, doesn't it? A little boost to get out there and to get some exercise or just enjoy the weather. The clouds are back, stratus clouds layering central Indiana. We're going to stay dry tonight, but likely see some showers during the day. Tomorrow, 32 in Logansport, temperatures 38 in Indianapolis and Bloomington. We're warmer than yesterday by about 5 degrees in Indianapolis. Those were our highs, by the way. Now we're 3 degrees off of that in Indianapolis, down to 32 in Columbus. Temperatures tonight won't change much. We'll be around freezing in the morning, thank the clouds, and this, a south wind from keeping temperatures falling off too much. And there's the trend through the overnight into 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. We start in the 30s. We'll touch 40 for the afternoon high. A few showers possible starting late morning into the afternoon hours. We've still got to talk about the big temperature swings ahead, potential for some snow next week, and of course the Christmas forecast in my 7-day outlook.
A lot of stuff to cover there. We'll see you soon, Kevin. Thank you. As people debate whether they will get the vaccine or not, physicians have a warning for you. WRTV's Stephanie Wade speaks with a local doctor who wants to talk directly to the African-American community.
I've been anticipating this moment for quite some time.
As a neurosurgery resident at IU Health,
our hospitals have been inundated with patients who have COVID, so much so to the point where we have our ICU beds completely full and our hospital systems have struggled.
Dr. Miracle Anakute was ecstatic when he was able to register for and receive the COVID-19 vaccine on Wednesday.
Hearing about this vaccine and seeing the fruition of the clinical trials for both the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine brings great joy to a lot of us healthcare workers, because now we're able to tackle this disease head on.
Patients in his field have had some of their treatments and surgeries delayed because of the pandemic. He feels this vaccine is our best hope to easing the strain on hospitals and to getting back to serving patients. He didn't hesitate, he says, because the effectiveness of this vaccine is much higher than the majority of vaccines out there.
Afterwards, I had no symptoms whatsoever. I had no significant muscle soreness at the site. In fact, it was a much more pleasant experience than actually getting the flu vaccine.
The point he's trying to make, and a group of people he wants to speak directly to.
For those who are debating whether or not to get the vaccine, please get the vaccine, especially for those in the African American population. The healthcare system has not been kind to the African American population and also to the minority population. We have the blight in medical history and in African American history and history of humanity with the Tuskegee experiments. And this puts a lot of African Americans, puts them in a place where they're afraid of the medical system and new medications and new drugs and new vaccines and new treatments that come in from the scientific community. Rightly so, they should be. But this is not Tuskegee. This vaccine is something that can help stave off the pandemic that is rampaging through the communities of African Americans, Blacks, Latinos, and other minorities as well.
Stephanie Wade.
To better protect yourself and to better protect the people around you, please go ahead and get this vaccine.
WRTV.
The Marion County Health Department has already been working with partners in the Black, Hispanic, and other communities during the response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Officials say their focus has turned to answering questions and concerns about the vaccines. It is a big day at Franciscan Health as it begins administering the COVID-19 vaccine. More than 200 healthcare workers on the south side of Indianapolis are receiving the shot today. WRTV's Megan Sanctorum was there. She explains why this day was so important to them and what they want you to know.
This is the setup here at Franciscan Health as frontline workers get the COVID-19 vaccine. This is a day many of them are calling historic and one they've been looking forward to for months.
I was driving in this morning and I was just singing and just super excited because I knew that, I'd be able to get this started today.
Andra Myers is a nurse practitioner here at Franciscan Health. She's spent months caring for COVID patients.
It's been exhausting. It's been challenging.
Today, she was part of the first group here to receive a COVID-19 vaccine.
Everybody is super pumped and excited and bubbly, and everybody's like, oh, what time are you going for yours? And yeah, I think everybody's just kind of got a lightened sense of excitement.
These are our physicians, these are our nurses, these are the respiratory therapists. These are folks who have been working on the front lines and taking care of the sickest COVID patients. And to see them be so positive, so enthusiastic, really should speak volumes.
Dr. Christopher Doring is the Vice President of Medical Affairs at Franciscan Health.
It feels truly historic. I've commented to several people over the last couple of days that we'll look back on this as a defining moment in all of our careers.
Franciscan Health received 975 initial doses of the vaccine from Pfizer yesterday. They expect to get around 3,000 more over the next 2 weeks. Julie Bargerhuff is one of the nurses who will be administering them.
I didn't sleep well last night. I was up a lot last night thinking, I'm going to be part of a group of nurses, pharmacists, and other people. They're going to be giving shots to healthcare workers and everybody. And it's really, I think, a blessing, and it's really an honor to be able to do it.
Now that it's finally here, it's super exciting, and I know we've got a long way to go, but it's the first step.
Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, WRTV.
Not all healthcare workers are lining up right away to get the vaccine, especially those recovering from recent cases of COVID-19. Our Rafael Sanchez reports on the people volunteering while they wait.
Brent Shepard has a heart for nursing.
I was ready before I had COVID to be first in line.
He's the team leader in cardiology at Johnson Memorial Health, who recovered from COVID-19 back in November. So he volunteered to give others in healthcare the vaccine.
Started having symptoms November 6th and got really sick. I was actually admitted to the hospital for 8 days. So having that experience and being as sick as I was, I want to make sure people have the chance to not be that sick. And getting the vaccine is going to make that possible.
Several others, like Brent, are complying with the CDC recommendation, waiting 90 days before they get their shot.
I think it just shows what kind of people they are. They've seen firsthand, they've suffered it themselves. I mean, obviously healthcare workers, we see the morbidity, the mortality associated with this disease, so they really want to be here on the front line fighting back against COVID.
Healthcare workers from Johnson Memorial, Community Health, and IU Health were among the first to get the vaccine at this facility today.
And I'm hoping that with the vaccine being effective, with the pandemic under control, I think the economy hopefully will open up, and I think people hopefully will get back to their normal life.
While people anticipate their turn, health officials call on you not to relax your efforts in being safe.
We have a lot of expectations that this vaccine will help us diminish and make this virus go away. So this is a big day. It's a big day.
This entire process from beginning to end will take about 25 minutes. Working for you in Johnson County, in Franklin, Rafael Sanchez, WRTV.
Johnson Memorial Health will be rotating people in and out of 12 vaccination rooms during the process. They plan to give the shots at least 6 days a week. Tonight, the FDA is still trying to determine if it will give emergency authorization to Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine. Yesterday, an expert advisory panel endorsed the vaccine, and the FDA usually follows that panel's recommendation, as it did with Pfizer's vaccine last week. If Moderna's vaccine gets emergency approval, then there will be two vaccines at work here, which hopefully will help bring an end to the pandemic eventually. The FDA could give emergency approval to Moderna's vaccine at any moment. We realize that many of you have questions about the COVID vaccines, and that's why on our website, WRTV.com, and on the WRTV app, we are giving you everything you need to know. It's in a question and answer format there. It's available to you right now in our app, or go to WRTV.com/coronavirus. And this is why those vaccines are so important. There are 7 dozen additional COVID-19 related deaths and thousands of additional cases reported in Indiana today. In fact, the Indiana Department of Health reports 84 additional deaths. 6,944 Hoosiers have now died with the coronavirus. Data from the Department of Health also shows 6,088 additional cases of COVID-19. A total so far of 453,139 people in Indiana have been diagnosed with the coronavirus. Tonight, a message from the United States Postal Service is if you still need to send holiday gifts and cards, mail them as soon as you can. Officials with the Postal Service say they are dealing with an historic record of holiday shipping volume, plus an employee shortage due to COVID-19 surge. The USPS says this is leading to temporary delays, but they say they are still committed to delivering gifts ahead of the holidays. Again, the advice tonight, make sure you get whatever you need to be mailed, sent out as soon as possible. You may be shopping online right now trying to find some last-minute gifts. Make sure you double-check the website you're on. I'm going to show you why that's so critical next.
It's been more than 9 months, but the Pacers are back at home inside Bankers Life Fieldhouse. I'm Brad Brown. We'll talk about this one and another pair of games here this weekend coming up on the news at 6.
And we've got a week to go, but I'm telling you there's a chance for a white Christmas. We'll talk about our snow potential next week coming up.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
It is exactly 1 week until Christmas Day, and if you're running out of time in order to order gifts online with a guaranteed delivery date of December 25th, you're probably in a hurry to get those last-minute items, but you need to double-check the URL of the website you're shopping on. Mallory Sophistay, with our Scripps partners in Baltimore, shows us how easy it is for scammers to trick you with fake websites on day 9 of the 12 scams of Christmas.
The URL is an immediate giveaway. You may notice an extra number or letter. These websites are exact replicas of legitimate retailers, and it's up to you to spot the fakes. Shipping windows for holiday deliveries are shrinking, so when you find that perfect item, you may feel the need to act fast. But Angie Burnett with the Better Business Bureau says to take a minute.
It is so easy to get misdirected to a fake website.
Here's an example. Kena Antonelli wanted a kayak. An ad from a familiar retailer popped up in her Facebook feed. She found the perfect one and went to check out.
I put in my credit card information, mailing information, everything, and then it the screen hung for a minute. And I thought, well, this is weird. And then I got a pop-up message that said, your transaction could not be processed with this card.
She checked her credit card transaction and saw the name of a different retailer.
Then I went back to the website, and that's when I noticed that the actual URL was intexcs.com and not just intex.com.
This is the real Intex. This is the website Kena was on. A near exact replica, minus the slightly different URL, the random address in Pennsylvania, and the phone number, 1 digit off from the real one.
It's very easy to create a legitimate looking website using authentic product descriptions and pictures. But when you press the button, who knows what's going to show up. Often it is a cheap knockoff.
FBI Special Agent Keith Custer said Kena did the right thing by using a credit card, but a little more research could have saved her the headache of having to dispute the charge. And instead of the kayak she'd been wanting, Kena received these counterfeit Ray-Bans from somewhere in China.
Anytime you're going through something that's redirecting you to another place, that's always something to watch out for, and I should know, and I didn't. So hopefully people can learn from my mistakes.
Instead of clicking through an ad, type in the product that you want in a search engine, check out the contact page for more information on the seller, and use websites like whois.net and GoDaddy to research the website. It'll tell you when it was first created. It's a red flag if a business hasn't been around very long. With your 12 Scams of Christmas, I'm Mallory Safaste.
And tonight, a warning from the FBI Indianapolis office. Beware of COVID-19 vaccine scams. Here's what the FBI says are the signs of potential scams. If you're asked to pay out of pocket to get the vaccine, if you're asked to pay to put your name on a vaccine waiting list or to get early access. Advertisements from vaccines through social media, emails, phone calls, online, or from unsolicited or unknown sources. Marketers offering to sell or ship doses of the vaccine for payment. Again, those are all signs of potential COVID-19 vaccine scams. Bottom line, do not give out your personal information or money to unknown sources. Here's Kevin. Here we are on the doorstep of the weekend, Kevin.
Doorstep of the weekend, get into the holidays at the end of next week. Lots going on and some big changes too. Our temperature tomorrow and Sunday, even Monday and Tuesday, right at around 40 degrees, a little warmer, and we spike Wednesday. See that? And then look, whoosh, on we go. It's like a ski ramp, and we're headed downhill. Thursday, much colder. Friday, I think temperatures hit rock bottom during the morning hours in the lower teens. I'm jumping to the middle of next week. That's when we seem to have the most action. Some rain at first Wednesday. The colder air may catch that, change it to some light accumulating snow into Christmas Eve morning. Temperatures on Thursday at 28. The high temperature Christmas Day, that's an optimistic high right now at 26. Let's pick up the timeline. There's the green of rain. As we get into the evening hours Wednesday, the blue is snow as the colder air catches that. Should have a little burst of snow as the colder air arrives. And it's not just for the Great Lakes. This will have an impact all the way down to the Gulf Coast as we get to the end of next week. It happens. Monday, by the way, officially, winter arrives at 5:02 a.m. with that burst of cold air and the snow, and ups our chances for a white Christmas to about 30%. Not overwhelming, but there's a chance. Temperatures in the mid-30s now. They haven't changed much today. We're just down 3 degrees from the afternoon high. Temperatures in the morning in the low 30s. During the day tomorrow, chance for showers just about any time, but especially late morning and afternoon. Should dry out on Sunday. The wind will be noticeable. That keeps our temperature from changing too much. It gets us into the low 40s. There are the showers through the afternoon into the evening. Shouldn't be anything too heavy. Temperatures that do miss the 40-degree mark won't miss it by a lot. Other spots will be in the low 40s. Let's put it all together for you. That chance for rain tomorrow. Monday we'll have a chance of showers with a little clipper system, meaning it's clipping right along. Won't stick around long. Wednesday into Thursday, rain changing to some snow as much colder air arrives on Christmas Day, 26 degrees. If you get a new thermometer for Christmas, Mark, you can check its accuracy. Should be a cold one.
From Santa Kevin. All right, thanks, Kevin. Several storylines among area sports teams this weekend. The Pacers are finally back at home. A big college hoops event will happen in an empty arena, and the Colts will have a key player back on the field for Sunday's game against the Texans. Brad Brown is at Bankers Life Fieldhouse with a look at all of those headlines tonight.
March 10th was the last time the Pacers played a game on their home court. Of course, they spent the entire summer in the bubble down in Orlando and just now getting back toward the start of the NBA's regular season, which will be coming up here on Wednesday night. Preseason tonight against the 76ers. We'll have a recap for you coming up on the news at 11. The Crossroads Classic, though, will be here on Saturday. No fans to see the games of IU and Butler, Purdue and Notre Dame, but it's an important weekend for all 4 teams with an early season test.
Finishing up this week, we're obviously very excited to get back to playing. I think that's important, and we got a lot for Butler. We have a lot of respect for this event. It will definitely feel different without the crowd. I think that's what makes it so special.
It's been a great event. It really has, and I always leave there and I'm like, you're pulling your hair out 80% of the time because you've lost 70% of whatever the percentage is. But I know in 3 to 4 weeks after that, it's like, hey, that game made us better.
Purdue and Butler will be the second game. Bulldogs guard Aaron Thompson listed as questionable. He injured his knee in Wednesday's loss to Villanova, a strained knee ligament. No word yet on when he might be ready to return. It's a big weekend for the Ball State football team. The Cardinals are playing tonight in the Mid-American Conference Championship game up in Detroit. They'll be taking on unbeaten Buffalo. BSU has won 5 straight after a season-opening loss. They're hoping to win that school's first conference title since 1996.
Really proud of just the hard work that's been put in. Back in 2017, we certainly had some ugly losses. But guys continued to stay positive, continued to work hard.
I know Saturday was an emotional one for everybody, especially knowing where we've come from as a team 3 years ago, 2 years ago. The struggles that we've been through, to be able to get that MAC West title and to go to Detroit, complete, just utter excitement to be on this stage and the opportunity that we have.
Ball State is a 13-point underdog against the unbeaten Bulls. Speaking of football, the Colts will be home against the Texans this Sunday. Some great news out of the Colts complex today. Rigoberto Sanchez will be back in action. He'll be punting and doing kickoffs for this Sunday's game less than 3 weeks after surgery to remove a cancerous tumor. Great to see Rigo back. He was in great spirits this week. We'll see you back on the news at 11 with highlights from this game with the Pacers and Ball State football as well. Have a great weekend. Time for another break. The news at 6 continues after this.
Temperatures just a couple degrees warmer tomorrow, but we'll introduce that chance for showers through the day. We'll manage 40 degrees. It's Wednesday when we'll be close to 50 mark before temperatures plunge after that.
Got to brace for it. All right, that'll do it for us here on WRTV News at 6. Up next here is World News Tonight with David Muir, and then Kevin and I will see you back here for WRTV News at 7.